Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So, in our last video, we tested out the game, and while it worked, it does require some updates and little tweaks and fixes. So this is going to be the first, probably going to take 2 or 3 videos in total, where we actually make the required fixes to the scripts. So as you can see, I have my choose character script open and the player 1 movement. So if you haven't already, please pause the video and open both of these scripts. So with that said, let's come to the choose character script, and we need to create a variable. So I'll just quickly tidy those up and let's have a look. I'll put it here. Obviously you can put it wherever you like. Now this needs to be of type private static bool. And it needs to be of type static because we're going to reference it in another script. So let's give this a naming convention of demo player. Let's close that off. Into the comments, let's say creates bool to define if the player is in demo mode. And this will be obviously for the choose character screen. So the character does not try and move when we actually try to switch which character we're selecting. So with that said, let's come to the void start. And we'll just set demo player to equal true. Close the line off. Into the comments, we'll say set demo player to true on startup. And then let's come to the void update. And let's have a look here. And it's this first block here where we actually send the message to load the background ready for the match. So let's come in front of this first line. We'll open and close brackets again. We can then cut this section. We'll put it into the brackets. And before we actually load the first background, we'll say underscore demo player to be equal to false now, because we're loading into a match. So let's say set demo player to false. And we'll save that off there. So with that done, we can close that script and we can come to the player 1 movement. And we need to create a bool that will hold the value from the other scripts. So let's have a look. I think I'll put mine here. This time it can be of type private bool underscore return demo state. Close the line off. Into the comments, we'll say creates variable to store the returned value of the player demo state. And we'll put it here actually. This can be of type int. You can make it float if you wish, but we'll say private int underscore demo rotation value. Let's begin with a value of 75. Into the comments we'll say defines the demo rotation value for the player game object. And we'll come to the void start now. These can go at the bottom. And the first thing we need to do is set the return demo state to false. Let's close that line off. And we'll put into the comments set return demo state to false on start up. And then we'll say that the return demo state is going to be equal to the choose character script dot. And then we want demo player, so we'll need to reference that. And forgive me, I forgot to put the underscore in. So let's just put that in. We'll save that off. And in fact, we've got a red error here. And sorry, that should be a public static bool. Apologies for that. Don't know why I put private, to be quite honest. I think that's out of habit. So let's put this into the comments. We'll say that the return, put capital in there, return demo state, we're going to say equals the choose character script and the demo player variable. And then we're going to come below here, we're going to say if open and close brackets, inside brackets, underscore return demo state double equals true. And we just want to make sure that it is false to begin with. Then we'll get the value to see if it is true or not. But if it is, so we'll put that into the comments. If return demo state equals true, and we'll come to the line below. And then we'll just say that the player one states, and it's going to be equal to the player one movement dot, and then we want the player one states dot, and let's just add this to the enum. In fact, we'll need a comma there. And let's give this a naming convention. We'll just say player demo. And that's what we'll make it equal to. Let's close that line off. We'll enter there. In the comments, we'll say then make state equal to the next line, the player demo state. And let's now come to the player one FSM. We'll copy all 3 lines for the very last case. We'll paste that in. And we'll just copy and paste player demo here and here also. So let's just save that off. Don't worry about the red error. We shall fix that. So let's actually now create that void. So I'll have to scroll down. So here's our last state. Private void, wait for animations. I'll put directly below there. Change the naming convention. And also for the debug log as well. And we'll also need to create, and I'll put this right at the bottom here, private void, and let's call it player demo animation. Open and close brackets will open and close again. We'll just copy and paste the debug login and swap out the naming convention. So we want player1 anim dot crossfade, open and close brackets, close the line off. Inside the brackets we're going to say player, and we'll actually need to create this. I missed it out when we did it, so let's just copy one of the animation clips. We'll paste that in. We'll change that to player1 demo anim. Change the comment. And then we'll use that demo animation. So let's actually come back here. And where are we? Here we go. So we'll paste that naming convention in. We'll say .name. And then we'll put it into the comments. So we'll just say crossfade in demo animation. And we can come back to player demo now. We're going to call that function player demo animation, open and close brackets, close the line off. Inside the brackets we'll just say we're calling that function. And then we're going to create two if blocks. So we'll say if open and close brackets, inside the brackets input dot, and we want get axis, open and close brackets, inside the brackets again, little speech marks, and we're going to say left trigger greater than, and we want 0.1 f, close brackets, and we'll get that into the comments. Sorry, it should just be one close brackets there. So we'll put this in the comments. We'll say if input equals left trigger, and we'll just put greater than. Let's just say 0.1 f. I was going to put a longer comment in, but I don't think we really need to. So we'll just say, or we'll just come to the next line. We'll say transform dot rotate. So lowercase t on transform, capital R on rotate. We're going to open and close brackets, close that line off. inside the brackets, we're going to say vector3 dot up times the demo rotation value times time dot delta time. Let's just break this up for commenting. So we'll enter there and there. In the comments, we'll say then rotate player, come to the next line by vector 3 dot up, and yeah, we'll put this into the brackets here. We'll say shorthand for vector 3, and it is just 0, 1, 0. And this will allow us to rotate our player when choosing the character. So let's just copy all of that. In fact, I need to put the comment in the last line here. And then by the demo rotation value. And we haven't set up these inputs as of yet, but we'll be doing that in the next lesson. So we need to change that to right trigger. We'll just copy that, and now we want to change to vector 3 down. We'll change the comment here, and we'll save that off. If we just downsize mono develop. So we have a number of yellow errors, so I'm not worried about those. We'll fix those as we go along. Now we'll set up the inputs for these in the next lesson, along with a few other things, and we'll continue on actually making these improvements, and then once we've finished them all, we'll actually test them out, and you'll be able to see the effect in game, and hopefully it will make it look like a much more polished game. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time, and until then, as always, bye for now.